Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing an analysis of the episode Conformation. This is the last day, part 1. While I'm filming this, I have seen both parts, but it aired at like 2 a.m. for me, and I only slept like 2 hours because of how much I was thinking about the finale. Let's get into the analysis. The episode begins at the beginning of summer break, and I honestly love the energy at the beginning of this episode. It starts out really bright and happy with bubbly French music in the background, but Gabriel and his plans quickly contrast that. Again, the news broadcasters seem to care a little too much about Adrian and Kagami. I really do not care if this modeling couple is currently in London, and I assure you that half of Paris probably does not care that much. Gabriel and Tomoe are calling each other while creepily spying on their children's prison cells, and then Gabriel reakumatizes himself into Night Tormentor. This akumatization reminded me of a mixture of Sandboy and Risk because of the nightmares, and also the fact that everyone with alliances was being subtly manipulated by Monarch. Honestly, the image of tiny Gabriels flying around spreading evil nightmare pixie dust kind of made me laugh though. Because of Gabriel's nightmare dust, we are introduced to Marinette's nightmare. In her nightmare, Marinette, the knight, must rescue Adrian, the princess, from Gabriel, the dragon. But in the process of defeating Gabriel, she accidentally makes him disappear, which causes Adrian to hate her. I personally think this dream is a manifestation of the play that we saw in Representation. I think that in this scene, Marinette subconsciously knows that Gabriel is Monarch, and she's worried about what might happen to Adrian if she defeats his father. Marinette is now convinced that she needs to free Adrian from his father, so she decides she needs to go see Natalie because she might give Marinette more information on Adrian's whereabouts. And then we kind of go through a lot of other characters' worst fears, and I really wanted to see Felix and Kagami's worst fears, and I think we can all guess what they are, but I still really wanted to see them. I think it's really sweet that Alya's worst fear is that she might give away Marinette's identity, and that just really shows how good of a friend she is, despite, some episodes this season suggesting otherwise. Then we see Adrian in his cell, where a robot delivers an alliance ring to him. We discover that the only antidote to these horrible nightmares are, coincidentally, the meditation app on the alliance rings. In order to make sure his dad doesn't hear him and Plag talking, he turns the volume of the ring all the way up and uses it to cover a camera on the robot. He is convinced that if he transforms into Cat Noir, he will become prey to an Akuma and destroy everything he loves. Yes, because that has absolutely never happened before. If Adrian doesn't find out about Cap Blanc, I am going to be very mad. But honestly, some things in this finale are making me more mad than that fact, so I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Although I really don't like the way they wrote Adrian out of the final fight, it sort of makes sense why he would give up his Miraculous, because he's scared to lose the one he loves due to his current mental state. Then, Marinette transforms in a trash can and flings herself into the Agreste mansion, where she attempts to find Natalie. However, we are transported to Natalie's nightmare, which is Gabriel finally making his wish. We also see her attempting to record a final video for Adrian, similar to the ones that Emily left for Natalie. Her nightmare causes her to be unable to record the video. This gives her a newfound determination to attempt to stop Gabriel before he can carry out his evil plan and make the wish. At the bakery, Tom and Sabine have become hypnotized by the rings. I think this scene just really pushed the narrative that Adrian is going to end up being a baker in the future, because even Tom says he looks like a natural rolling the bread. I'm kind of here for it, fashion designer baker, but they have their parents' jobs, but roles reversed. It's kind of fun. Anyways, Plag flies across the English Channel in order to find Marinette, so that she can wear the Black Cat Miraculous, but gets there too late as she's already at the Agreste mansion. Natalie grabs her crossbow, turns off the power to Emily's coffin thing, and makes her way to the crypt, where Gabriel is trying to turn the power back on. Using this to distract him, she creeps up behind him with the crossbow and almost shoots him. However, this is Miraculous, and obviously Natalie is not going to shoot Gabriel, sadly. I was very surprised when I saw the scene because it's rare that we actually see violence between two civilians. Natalie was just really prepared to murder him, as she should. In true Gabriel fashion, he manipulates Natalie into lowering her weapon and disarms her. Because she's already so weak from the effects of using the damaged Peacock Miraculous, she quickly passes out and is carried by Gabe back up to her room. Meanwhile, Ladybug is in Natalie's room, where she finds the tablet that was stolen from Master Fu. She also finds all of Natalie's notes on the various holders in the digital pages of the grimoire. Right as she slips into hiding, Monarch enters the room carrying Natalie. He detransforms, which solidifies in Marinette's mind that Monarch is indeed Gabriel Agreste. Now, this is the part where the writers start to get a little bit desperate. She types up a message telling Cat Noir that Gabriel's Monarch and that she needs his help. Obviously, Ladybug doesn't know that Adrien is Cat Noir, so she has no way of knowing that he wouldn't be able to help her or that this information would traumatize him. Despite this, she still decides to delete the message and continue with the mission alone. Did Strike Back teach you nothing, Marinette? I thought you guys were a superhero duo. What happened to the tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir? Anyways, plot armor aside, Gabriel leaves Natalie to die, and Ladybug interrogates her on Adrien's whereabouts. Natalie tells her about Gabriel's worldwide plan and gives Ladybug the phone that contains all of Emily's last recordings, and then Natalie dies. This scene was so sad, and out of all scenes in the finale, this was the only one that actually made me like shed a tear. Even like the part at the end, I was just so like confused and in disbelief that like this scene was so crazy, and it was just like so heartbreaking seeing like Ladybug being unable to do anything and just knowing that like all of the people that Adrien loves are like fading away. Meanwhile, Gabriel and Tomoe reach the next step of their plan, where they convince Alliance ring users that Adrien and Kagami have been kidnapped by Ladybug and Cat Noir. I know it's because they're hypnotized, but wow, the people of Paris are really stupid sometimes. And then we get introduced to the concept of a quantum imprint. So apparently, because Ladybug gave Gabriel a magical charm and Cat Noir cataclysmed him, he was able to use their magical essence in order to track them. I think the writers really just like adding the word quantum in front of anything to cover up plot holes, but whatever. I shall suspend my disbelief. Somehow, Gabriel is able to allow each person that has an alliance ring to be able to transform themselves into puppets that have the powers of the miraculouses. I'm not sure exactly how he managed this, but it probably has something to do with the quantum imprint idea. Tomoe detects Ladybug's imprint in Gabriel's house, so he sends the puppets after her. I was really confused at this part because why is he not at all concerned that Ladybug is in his house? Surely, Gabriel, that might mean that she has discovered your identity. Why else would Ladybug be in your house? Ladybug fights the puppets, but remembers Natalie's last advice to transform back, because the puppets can only use Ladybug's imprint to track her. So she hides in a cupboard and detransforms, where Plague eventually finds her. Monarch tries to find Marinette, and is able to locate her due to Plague dropping his ring on the ground. He opens the cupboard and quickly realizes that Marinette is Ladybug. But before he can overpower her, she transforms into Bug Noir by unifying the Ladybug and Black Cat Miraculouses. I don't know how personally I feel about this design. I think they did well for what they had to work with, but I really thought that unifying the Black Cat and the Ladybug Miraculouses was more important, and I really thought that like if you unified them, you like had to make the wish. And that's where this episode ends. It does end on a cliffhanger, but I didn't really mind it because I was able to watch the next episode directly after. Overall, I did like the structure of this episode because it was different than the usual episode style. It reminded me of Risk and Strike Back in a way. I guess that's just kind of how like the later finales are. The animation was really, really good, and there were some parts that I was just like in awe that this was even miraculous. Like I think these two episodes probably have the best animation of any miraculous episode ever, and the plot wasn't horrible, but like some parts I think were stretched a lot. But I mean, I gotta give the writers some credit, like they had to make it work, but you know, some parts were a little weird. But my main problem with this episode was the lack of continuity with the episode before it, Representation. In episode 24, Representation, Felix shows Marinette the origin story of the Graham de Vanilli family, and Marinette is able to piece together that the tailor and the curious princess are referring to Gabriel and Emily. However, Felix also says that he made an exchange with the tailor, and the dream shows the Peacock Miraculous being exchanged for all of the other ones. Surely, if Marinette knows that the tailor is Gabriel, and she knows that Felix made the same trait with Monarch, she would easily be able to piece together the fact that Gabriel and Monarch are the same person. I don't understand why they decided to animate that part into the episode representation and then also have her find out in this episode, but also the fact that she didn't text Cat Noir at all. I mean, eventually she does realize that something has happened to him, which is why she transforms into Bug Noir. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your opinions on this episode. Tomorrow I will probably be posting Recreation. That video will definitely be a lot longer and I might yell a little bit more than I did in this one, and I liked this episode overall. There were some parts that I was like, what is happening? But I think with Miraculous, sometimes you just gotta accept that. Anyways, have a miraculous day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!